listened to the speech, watched the speech. He looked great. He was fabulous at the United Nations, but he challenged them. And the strong language is needed because this man is a tyrant, not only cruel to his people, but he's a threat to the world. And most importantly, he's a threat to the United States of America with weapons of mass destruction like a nuclear bomb. We can't tolerate that. We can't have that. I appreciate, for one, and by the way, independents loved it too. Very well received. I'm very thankful. I thought it was very effective. What Kim is going to do with what was said, I am certain there's been nothing that's been said yet, but I guarantee you, if not today, this week, it'll either be a launch of something somewhere, or there'll be some really crazy language coming out of his mouth. And we can't stand for it, folks. We just can't stand for it anymore. And supposedly, some of the plans, military plans that we have on the table, which I'm very encouraged to hear, General Mattis says that some of the plans do not involve having mass casualties in South Korea, which would be great. Whether there's surgical strikes, EMP over their country, some stuff we don't even know about. Believe me, there's technology that we do possess that we don't use every day, but we use for a rainy day, and we have such items available. And believe me, we have great imagery via satellite and intelligence to where exactly we need to strike, and we do it very quickly, we do it very decisively, and we do it with other countries. The amount of firepower, and you know, I am very sympathetic. You say, what about all those poor North Korean people that are so innocent, that really could care less, but they have to go along with this idiot? I feel bad for them, but they've been dealing with this for a long time. You know, I hate to say it's either us or them. They want to survive. They want to kill us and bring us to ashes. They want to wipe out Japan. I mean, this is the same kind of rhetoric that comes out of Tehran. And I say this is something we're going to have to deal with unless there's a miracle. And you get the basketball player that loves to come over and meet with Kim. His name evades me he's such a moron. He says he gets a perspective from him every time he comes over there about what America's about. He's like an ambassador of America. And I'm like, give me a break. I mean, this guy was Western educated. A guy knows better that the ball player is not the total reflection of Western culture, but that's what he has said to the news media to make it sound like, you know, yeah. And I'm thinking, great. Our future is dependent upon a ball player. Well, he said he was going to go back over there and to meet with him to try to negotiate something, like as if Kim is actually going to listen to him. So, yeah, no, don't fire any more missiles off. Don't do that. It's scaring people. Remember that earthquake there is scaring the South Koreans. You're scaring the Japanese. You're scaring the United States. Don't do it. Yeah, not a chance. This guy is a moron and a killer. Kills his own people, kills his own family. This guy's unhinged. I've said this from day one. I've been saying this for years about this guy. The guy continues launching, making his equilibrium. That was a statement. Equilibrium. That he's at a place now where he believes that his nuclear arsenal is where it needs to be. And now he's able to achieve what it is that he wants to do. He can reach the U.S. mainland. He can reach Guam. The ICBMs, folks, are impressive. He goes further and further and further with, whether it's an ICBM or just one of these regular missiles. The guidance systems, the engines, they're all working. I mean, most of them are. A few implosions on the rocket launcher, but these things are, trial and error. You eventually given the opportunity. I've always worried that one just guidance system fails, cheap parts or whatever, doesn't go where it's supposed to go, and then it kills a bunch of people when he decides to put a nuke on it. Which one is going to have a nuke on it? Because they're not shooting them down. I'm thinking from now on, anything that comes out of there, if the guy does another launch, whether it's Japan or South Korea or the United States, somebody, China, wouldn't that be great? They shoot it down. Somebody shoot the stuff down and say, we're not going to allow you to do anything. Let it blow up right there over your country. Maybe you'll stop messing around with rockets. But who knows? It's Sharathon, and we're here to talk about what we're doing here today. And Sharathon 2017 is going to enable us to be able to let more stations know that we're on the air with the broadcast, because that's just the way it's done. And help us reach more stations, because if they know we're on, a lot of stations will carry the show. And we're a 2-hour daily show. We're 11 to 1 Eastern. Some stations run us pre-delay. They'll run us later or earlier, but we're thrilled to be on your station. So wherever you're listening, that's fine. But the gold standard is still radio, folks. Still a big radio guy. Started in radio. Podcasts are wonderful when you miss the broadcast, but there's something special to be said when you actually hear a talk show on radio. It just has a different flavor. You know, it goes through the exciter, goes through the transmitter and through the ground system and all that. Then you hear it's special to listen to a talk show on a radio station. You know, it gives it a local flavor. You get the local news and the local advertisers or sponsors, depending on what station you're listening to. But it's a local flavor. You get the call letters or the jingle of the station. It's just great. And it reaches a lot of folks. And we're all for supporting the local community. So thank the station that carries the broadcast, and let people know the frequency that you listen to and the time that you listen to. Turn them on to For the People. Also, let them know about the chance to win $200. You might know somebody that needs to do that. $25 gets you one raffle ticket. If you want to buy several of them, you can do that. And to do that, let me give you a little direction here. If you want to buy your raffle ticket right now, you go to, first of all, online. You can do that on desktop or on your mobile version. We got a mobile-friendly version of our website at forthepeopleshow.com. You'll see a picture of me behind a microphone. It's kind of a cheesy picture. And then you'll see buy your raffle ticket off to the right there. Click buy now for your raffle ticket. You can click there. Now, if you want to buy more than one, you want to give more than $25, keep on scrolling down. And then you'll see a little microphone with Sharathon 2017, and you can just press donate there. And then you can give a higher amount. So maybe you want to buy 2 tickets, $50, and so forth and so on. And we will put actual physical tickets with numbers with your name on it, and we'll let you know. Now, we're also going to have the winner on the air if the person wants to. We can pre-tape it. We can do 2 or 3 different takes on it, until it's nice. But if it weirds you out, you don't want to do the radio thing, then we won't. But we can mention your first name, maybe the state that you're in. If you don't mind doing first and last, we can do that as well. But if it would be a big honor to be on the radio show, talk a little bit, chat a little bit, we can do that as well, put you on the radio show. Maybe some of you been wanting to do a talk show yourself, feel like you got a lot to contribute. There's an idea for you. ForThePeoplesShow.com, enter to win $200, and $200. It's $200. What would you do with extra $200 right now? Think about it. You could go to dinner with that, right? You can bring somebody to dinner. You can pay a couple bills, right? A lot of you could do that. So, $25 at least gets you one ticket, and it helps us get to our goal of $5,000. And right now, we have $125. So we still have a while to go to get to our goal of $5,000. And the Sharathon continues to the 29th. The 29th. So if you'd like to just get things rolling right now and get your ticket in the fishbowl, so to speak, that's next Friday. So I'm asking you to go ahead and get things going now to encourage other people to start giving as well. And there's something with the numbers, people that see it, and There's kind of like a marketing strategy to it all. But I want this to be real. I want it to be organic. And I don't want this to be, forceful. Charles Stanley, great guy. I don't know if you know that name, Charles Stanley, but he is a Baptist preacher. And he has a ministry called In Touch Ministries. Love his ministry. Now, he does the gospel, okay? I'm not at a pulpit. I'm not telling you to accept Jesus into your heart as Lord and Savior, though I think that's a good thing. But he preaches the gospel. And what I love about his ministry, and when I interviewed Charles Stanley, he told me he wasn't sure about radio and television in the beginning. And I said, well, why is that? He said, because the enormous expenditure, because a lot of ministries have gone broke or bankrupt, and all the antics and the things they have to do on the air, like the Sharathon, giving raffle tickets off. He said, I didn't want to be a part of that, but how I'm going to do this is I'm never going to ask for money. And then I'll know that it's genuine, that it's from God. And when I heard that, it gave me goosebumps, and I thought, man, if it would just be that easy for the radio show. Radio doesn't work that way, especially when you're not doing religious radio. But long story short, for Charles Stanley, he doesn't. People just give him and the hundreds of millions of dollars that it takes to distribute his In Touch broadcast around the world on radio and television. He never, and they don't have an announcer, to give or anything like that. I thought, man, is that not awesome? But see, on radio, and when you're not we're kind of like a ministry because we're listener supported. We have to cast the vision because you don't come to us, just service. We don't give the offering plate because obviously the local congregation gives into the plate. So he's, able to generate some money there, and big donors and on all that kind of stuff. This is different, but I was just thinking, man, wouldn't that just be better? Easier. I've had some people actually knock on my door and say, you should become a preacher. And I've been offered churches through the years. I'm not even kidding. Seriously. I used to work in ministry, and I used to, be like a lay preacher, and I really loved it. Good results. It's just I didn't feel really that's where God wanted me. And if he calls me someday off the microphone, and maybe he keeps me on the microphone, then I would do it. But talk radio seems to be exactly where I need to be, and it seems like God always just, through people, always brings the right people at the right time. And I don't know if that's the story of your life, but it's been the story of mine. And he always seems to speak to the right people and just make things happen. So, but if I don't tell you about these things, you're not going to know about it. So here I am today asking you to become a friend of For the People, this broadcast right here where you're listening. And if you could give something today, and if you can't afford a raffle ticket, you can just scroll down below where the raffle ticket is and click on the donate button and just give $1. Bare minimal. That'll bring the number up more, and that'll be your contribution. Maybe say, I just don't have the extra $25. And there are people, and don't feel bad, they're just paycheck to paycheck, and $25 is bacon and eggs. It's some soup. It's some water. It's things like that, and I get it. I understand that. And I certainly don't want to take away from your bread and butter or feeding your family or anything like that. But for those that can and can afford it, I'm asking you to please give something today. If the ticket works for you, you can do $25. Excellent. If you can do above that, buy some more tickets. Awesome. And I certainly would appreciate that. But I just can't do this alone. So that's why we have to ask you to give something. So if you could, right now, as we are speaking, go to the website at forthepeopleshow.com, and you can take a look at all the interesting things that are going on. One of them is that you can, yes, listen to the radio show live right from the website. That's if you're in an area that you don't have a radio station, which is kind of a thing. It's a neat thing because you get the little live button that comes out. Yeah, but always listen to your local radio station. Never want to pull people off the station because they have been very generous, and we've been growing across the country, and we want to get the word out to more stations about For the People. So anyway, take a look and see what's going on